you believe in miracles? Denver sure does.
Let's win tonight. Take it to Seattle and win in 5. Let's go, Nuggets! Let's go!
And if you like playoff action, check out Charles.
Charles Barkley, he's not human.
Tipping off this week's show is a trip across the Western Conference road to glory, where the Denver Nuggets were trying to come back from a 2-0 deficit against the Seattle Supersonics.
We're gonna do it tonight! So let's get ready to tumble!
With Dikembe grabbing 13 boards and blocking 6 shots, and Reggie Williams scoring a game-high 31, the Cinderella Nuggets stayed at the ball with a 110-97 victory.
I don't think they thought we were going to come out like that. You know, we was down 2-0. We were discouraged, you know, about the 2 games up in Seattle, and we just jumped on them.
In Game 4, a touch of magic courtesy of Robert Pack forced overtime, and the Nuggets won going away.
This is the 3 and the tie. Robert Pack goes downtown. The darlings of Denver, the Nuggets, walk off the floor, and for them, they have done the impossible, stretching the series to 5.
After compiling the best record in the NBA, Seattle had no intention of losing a deciding Game 5 at home.
Perkins sets for 3. 25-21. Robert Pack into dunk, and Denver has the lead. Gill. Kendall Gill through Mount Matumbo. 84-80. Short. Kendall Gill knocks it home with a half-second remaining. Overtime, 5 minutes and 88 all.
Kendall Gill has left his man, so Reggie Williams wide open
For a 3. He hits it. And Denver takes the lead with Matumbo. Another block from Matumbo. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen a part of NBA history. This is an upset they'll be talking about for many, many years.
San Antonio was upset about losing Game 2 of their series with the Jazz, which evened things at 1. Playing without the suspended Dennis Rodman, they were humiliated in Game 3 at the Delta Center 105-72, and were pushed to the brink of postseason extermination.
We didn't know what Dennis's absence was going to mean to us. As it turned out, things worked out good for us, but you know, Game 4 is going to be tough.
The Worm returned for Game 4, and the Spurs valiantly battled back. But the mailman delivered a decisive season-ending knockout blow as the Jazz prevailed 95-90 to move on.
I didn't want to go back down there and play. Down the stretch, I had made up my mind. I'm going to be the hero of the GOAT.
The Warriors were looking for a hero to lift them from a 2-0 hole, but were victimized by a 56-point eruption by Sir Charles. The 3rd most prolific scoring outburst in playoff history helped bring down the curtain on Golden State's season.
He had one of the most spectacular games I've ever witnessed. We wish the Phoenix Suns and Charles Barkley success. Any questions?
Like who would emerge from the Houston-Portland series to challenge the Suns? In Game 3, Rod Strickland kept the Blazers on the trail.
I like to get to the middle court. You know, I can go to the sides too, but, you know, if I can get in the middle, you know, I can hit that low jumper, and like you said, I can dish it off, and, you know, that's been working for me this year, so I'm just going to stay with it.
Portland fell behind early in Game 4 and never quite climbed out of the hole, as Houston followed their leader and advanced to the Western Conference semifinals.
Well, we match up with them very well. We just have to refocus now playing on Sunday.
A well-rested Charles Barkley had Houston in his sights, but it was the Rockets who blistered the Suns with a furious first-half attack. The defending conference champions came all the way back from 18 down and managed to hold on down the stretch.
The Phoenix Suns will have an opening game win. They upset the Rockets at home in Game 1, 91-87. Phoenix now has the home court advantage.
The Suns' Kevin Johnson, who was so instrumental in Phoenix's sweep of Golden State, kicks off this week's News, Notes, and Quotes. The 3-time NBA All-Star and 7-year veteran has been added to the Dream Team 2 roster.
I was excited. I'm not going to say I was surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised either way at this point. I'm looking forward to joining my teammate, Dan Marley. You know, I'm thankful to the Phoenix Suns organization, my teammates here on the Phoenix Suns, and without them, it certainly wouldn't be possible.
Elsewhere, Golden State's Chris Webber was named the Coca-Cola Classic NBA Rookie of the Year.
Oh, what a rebound by Webber over Matumbo! A man possessed!
I'd like to thank my family and
I really dedicate this to my father because the last couple of weeks I think he's had a couple of heart attacks. You know, wanting his son to get this. But it's just fun playing on this team. It's fun. And a lot of guys don't have fun on their teams, truthfully. And I think that's really the biggest highlight of the year.
As far as a good passing big man, best I've ever had, I think could be one of the best the game has ever seen. He has the ability to see the game in advance as a big person, and it doesn't happen very often.
I think he's a terrific young player, and I think if he keeps progressing, he's going to be a great player in the future. He's a very talented young man. He's going to be a star if he just keeps working hard and getting better.
Minnesota's J.R. Ryder joins Weber on the all-rookie team. Also selected were Anthony Hardaway of the Magic, Milwaukee's Vin Baker, and the Mavs' Jamal Mashburn, who led all rookies averaging 19 points a game. Mashburn's coach, however, didn't fare as well. Quinn Buckner was fired after guiding his team to a league-worst 13-69 record.
I knew we had a bunch of bridges that got burned early, and I was looking to see if I could find enough timbers to repair them. And if I could have, we wouldn't be having this meeting this morning.
And finally, Sixers GM and former head coach Jim Lynam was named the new coach of the Washington Bullets.
I can honestly tell you that it's a pleasure, and I'm extremely happy to be here. I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't think that this team had the potential to improve dramatically and in somewhere the near future to become a contending type team.
Coming up, we'll travel down the road to glory in the Eastern Conference.
Does he love the pressure? He makes all the big shots.
And the Hawks power forward Kevin Willis holds court.
A lot of people say that since Meech's been gone, my game has taken another step.
We now travel down the road to glory in the rugged Eastern Conference. In perhaps the biggest surprise of the Eastern Conference playoff race, the #1 seeded Atlanta Hawks found themselves tied at a game apiece entering Game 3 at Miami Arena. South Florida was electric with playoff fever, and the Heat responded as they posted a 90-86 victory that left them just one win shy from advancing to the next round in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Shankly, yes! On his 20th rebound!
You take care of business while the business is at hand. And if they have that attitude and they understand that attitude, we won't have to go back to Atlanta.
However, in Game 4, it was the Hawks who took care of business, as Mookie Blaylock was on fire, burying 6 three-pointers and leading Atlanta to a 103-89 win, setting up an all-or-nothing Game 5 showdown.
Everybody, when they come to that arena, they're going to come ready to play defense or they sit down. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I think that we know it's not going to be a cakewalk, so we'll be ready.
And in Game 5, the Hawks clamped down and showed why they were the best team in the East, defeating the Heat 102-91.
And that could be the killer. The Hawks, Altman finds Blaylock, spotted for the 3, bingo!
Waiting in the wings for Atlanta are the Indiana Pacers, who last week made the Orlando Magic disappear in a surprising 3-0 series sweep, marking the first time in NBA franchise history that they've advanced past the first round of the playoffs.
He makes all the big shots, and they are in the second round of the playoffs.
Also hoping to take care of business in a 3-game sweep were the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls had worn down an injury-depleted Cavs team in the first 2 games of the series. And in Game 3, Cleveland put forth their best effort, but finally succumbed in overtime to the more talented 3-time defending world champions.
Pippen called for it, got it, and Scottie Pippen making the plays right now. Pippen to the goal, and he scores. And the Chicago Bulls will advance into round number 2, the final in overtime, 95-92.
As the Bulls rested, they watched as New Jersey and New York battle it out. And at Game 3, trailing 2 games to none, the underdog Nets put together their best game and eventually won in overtime 93-92.
Anderson. Gilliam slamming it home from the can.
We got one of these games, you know, everybody was yelling to stand, Nick, that sweep, sweep, sweep. So it helps our pride a little bit. And we're going to come back Friday and, you know, put it on them.
However, it was the Knicks who took it to the Nets in Game 4, as Patrick Ewing carried New York, scoring 36 points and pulling down 14 rebounds, setting the stage for their much-anticipated rematch with the Chicago Bulls.
We just have to play the same way we've been playing, but with more intensity, and just play great defense. I think that if we play great defense against them, then we should beat them.
It's going to be a great series. We've played them the last. This is the third year now, and they've beaten us the last two. But we feel confident going into the series, and I think we'll be disciplined and more focused.
These two rivals were battling in the playoffs for the fourth year in a row, and the Bulls were in search of their fourth consecutive NBA World Championship and a new chapter in the history books. But in this opening act, the hungry New York Knicks stake their claim to Game 1.
Get a good look, not able to hit. Oakley is inside. He hits, and the foul. Starks for Mason.
Doesn't take the pressure off us. We're not entitled to anything. They're wearing 3 rings, and they are not going to give them up.
Broadway's basketball team has a young understudy in the backcourt, and he's on the rise. In his second year out of the University of North Carolina, Hubert Davis has improved his game, giving the Knicks solid play around the perimeter.
Well, I think my strength is shooting, and I think I can open up a lot of things. Not taking bad shots, but being aggressive.
Davis with a strong driving low.
When John Starks got injured late in the season, Davis stepped up.
I just wanted to go out there and not do anything spectacular. Just go out there and try to play steady basketball, limit my mistakes, and try to help the team out as best I can.
What a dribble by Hubert Davis.
I think Hubert Davis is a special type of player. He's a great, great shooter. And anytime you can shoot, you have a place to play in the NBA. But he's also very, very tough mentally. He's not afraid to take the big shot, and he gives you a great effort every single time out there on the court.
Hubert has a lot of confidence in himself. We have a lot of confidence in him. And when Hubert gets on the floor, he has one of the most picture-perfect jump shots in the league.
As Hubert and the Knicks continue to look impressive in the playoffs, so does the future for this young star.
He's a guy that's just going to get better and better. And like his uncle Walter, will not only have a long career in the NBA, but will be an all-star, I believe, someday.
Here's Davis for 3.
The Davises prove that family ties can play a key role in a player's overall success. For this week's trivia question, can you name the father and son tandem who scored the most points in professional basketball history? The answer when we return right here on NBA Action. And now the answer to our trivia question. Hall of Famer Dolph Schayes and his son Danny have combined for the most points in NBA history, totaling over 27,000 regular season points. This duo surpasses Rick and John Barry by almost 8,000 points. Now on NBA Action, the Atlanta Hawks' new leading man is holding court. Since 1984, Kevin Willis has played a supporting role to the human highlight film. But since Dominique Wilkins' departure, Willis now gets top billing in Atlanta.
Kevin Willis having a terrific night. Willis with a long hook. Kevin Willis, monster jam, gets the crowd involved.
Oh, KW!
A lot of people say that since Meek's been gone, my game has taken another step. I believe it has taken another step. If Dominique was here, I would think my mindset is it's going to take a step anyway because that's the type of player I am. I try to improve every year. Every game I try to look back at the previous game and say, hey, you did this or you didn't do this, and try to enhance it or not make the same mistake in the game.
Willis's game has always been about strength, as he's developed into one of the league's premier power forwards. Then in February, when the Hawks traded Wilkins for Danny Manning, Kevin was given a greater opportunity to supply additional offense.
With Dominique not being here, it has freed me up a lot. I can just see the ball more down low.
The jump hook by Kevin Willis. I tell you what, he is playing some inspired ball tonight.
I can shoot the ball with confidence.
Here's Willis, quick jumper, and Kevin Willis has found the mark.
Dominique did a lot for this organization and not take anything from him. But with Danny Manning out here, he just does so many things.
Following Manning's arrival, the Hawks took advantage of Willis's offensive ability, allowing Kevin to capture the post-Neek team scoring title, averaging a career-best 19 points per game.
Willis for 3! At the buzzer!
There are things that we can do, especially when we go small and have him and Kevin in the game, because the thing that we haven't done is that we can utilize Kevin on high post, because Kevin can make shots.
Willis, look out! He feels the hand!
Oh, Kevin is shooting like a pure
shooter, nothing but the bottom of the net, Kevin.
I've never received this much respect or confidence from our past coaches, or I should say the belief. Coach Wilkins has a lot of belief in me. He knows that I'm an intelligent ball player. He knows what my abilities are on the court. And that tells me that, hey, I have a coach here that knows that Kevin Willis can play basketball and he can think the game as well as play it. And that's important to me.
Kevin Willis, a key figure in the Hawks' title hopes. Coming up next on NBA Action, we'll take an inside look at what it takes to have a shooter's mentality in the NBA playoffs.
I'm hot, Coach. Give me the shot.
Now in our inside look, we explore the mentality of a shooter in the NBA.
Everything's moving in slow motion, and you can see the flight of the ball. You can see David Stern's initials on the leather of the basketball, and it goes into the net, swish, and you can't wait to get the ball again. If you run down the court and you don't get it, you're like all upset. Get me the ball. I want it.
It's above the arc to Person, a three, go! Chuck Person has reloaded the gun, emptying the canisters one by one.
Shooter's mentality to me means that you can miss 10 shots in a row, and you'll still tell the coach, I'm hot, Coach. Give me the shot. I mean, as a shooter, you never think you're off. You always think the next shot is going to fall.
Pull up, top side for three again. It's through again. He is 13 for 18 from the floor. How about this? A standing O for Joe at the Palace.
And when they're really on their game, there's no better feeling a player can have.
Well, it's one of those nights when everything is going for you. The team has to get you the ball in the right places, and everything you put up is going down. And then people talk about the zone or whatever. And it's just one of those nights.
When you are the man, you got to be the man.
Boy, and he is the man tonight.
He's feeling it. He's begging for it.
Reggie Miller is on fire.
Words are unnecessary, folks.
And when it's playoff time, contenders depend on these shooters to deliver in crunch time.
He's one of the great streak shooters in this league. If he gets hot and gets his adrenaline flowing, he's liable to knock down 6 or 7 in a row.
In Game 1 against Portland, the Rockets' Vernon Maxwell put on a shooting clinic and sparked Houston to victory.
Back outside, Max sets for a three. Yes, big shot for Max. Max again wants the shot. Maxwell! Oh, my goodness gracious!
I just know how competitive the guy is, and the guy's just a crunch time player.
And against the Warriors, Sir Charles let it be known he's still the man when it comes to taking charge.
Barkley now posting. Barkley stumbles to the baseline, fade away, unreal. 3-7. Barkley answers right back with a three of his own. On his offense. Barkley, oh brother. Golden State by one. Barkley for three! Unbelievable! Charles Barkley, he's not human.
If I'm making that jumper, it just opens up everything. I'm able to spin.
Barkley again! How many times?
I'm able to go around guys.
Oh, what a play by Barkley!
So a lot of teams give me that jumper, and I'll take it.
Having the confidence to take the big shot can make for a magic moment. This week, we look back at the 1993 NBA Finals, where John Paxson helped the Bulls win their 3rd straight NBA title.
I don't get a whole lot of opportunities shot-wise to contribute, and so when you come in and they look for you right away and you knock a few down, the teammates are looking for you more. They gain a little confidence in you again, so for me, it's a big boost.
In that championship series, the Bulls looked to Paxson for a boost as they battled the Phoenix Suns. The savvy veteran helped Chicago take a 3-2 series lead. In Game 6, the Bulls and Suns fought it out to the last second. With Chicago trailing by 2 points, the Bulls' confidence in Paxson was never more obvious as he hit the shot of the year for Chicago.
Here's Paxson for three! Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time with 3 9/10 seconds.
I was going to penetrate. I was going to dish it to Scotty and cut right or left. He was going to give me the ball back. But he passed me up, turned, penetrated himself, dished it to Horace. He kicks it back out to Paxson. And once I saw Paxson shoot it, I just knew it was in. He's knocked in so many big shots for us.
That's instinct. You catch and you shoot. I've done it hundreds of thousands of times in my life.
And now that we have you on the edge of your seat, it's time for the top 10 plays from the playoffs.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In our courtside countdown. Not so sweet music for the Spurs as the Jazz sing them a playoff lullaby.
Picks it up. It's going to be Benoit under it, Jazz.
At number 9, the Knicks sure have a knack for fourth quarter heroics.
Oh, what a nice lead throw by Starks for Ewing.
Long pass over the top and the alley-oop to Patrick Ewing.
Oh, and here's another Knickerbocker who's got the right stuff.
Oh, what a follow. And that's Oakley.
At number 7, you just got to hand it to the Houston Rockets, Otis Thorpe.
Nice pick and roll to Thorpe. Oh, and a reverse slam to boot. It's a patented play. Kenny Smith in OT.
Check out Seattle's Detlef Schrempf as he threads Denver's D.
Oh, what a pass to Kemp inside. Oh, good golly.
And the man Detlef was traded for says one good no-look deserves another.
Here's McGee. Oh, what a no-look pass. How about that for Porter win?
Here's a travel tip at number 4 when visiting Miami. Watch out for the heat wave.
Minor. Whoa. Taking it all the way to the hole with a strong slammer by Minor.
Now, although they got pounced from the playoffs by the Pacers, there was still plenty of magic.
There's it. Oh, yes. What a prayer shot. Just beautiful.
At number 2, just sit back and watch Denver's 6-foot Duncan Demon.
A little more of that aggressive defense in Seattle, but Robert Pat dribbled right through it.
How about the speed that he went down? He left 3 guys in his wake and just went up. What a spectacular play.
The building shook.
And for this week's number 1 play, the Atlanta Hawks' Mookie Blaylock puts the Miami Heat on ice.
Oh!